It's been such a long time since I've been back on YouTube, but today I figured let's do a little vlog. So I have a Pilates event and it's for Bot Pilates. I have never been to Bot Pilates. I feel like they're known for reformer and I do a lot of mat Pilates. However, they're doing an event and it's called Boots and Booty, and I thought it was like a cool concept. And it's also benefiting in support of blood cancers. So I figured let's go out, let's support, let's have a good time. So let's get ready. I'm supposed to be there by 9. It's supposed to go all the way through 12 p.m. I probably will not stay that long, but let's get ready. I usually don't wear makeup for Pilates. However, I feel like this is more of a social event, getting to know other people, interacting, networking, if anything. So let's actually do our base. And also I've been to other few events similar to this, and I feel like it's more, not so much a workout. Yes, you get a workout in, but it's mainly more, I don't want to say for the look, but yes, it's mainly more for the look. So I'm gonna do my makeup, and I don't have sunscreen on. Now that I have my sunscreen on, we are going to blend this foundation. This specific foundation I have in the shade 14. It doesn't have a name, it's just a number. So I'm just gonna take that. And with this foundation, a little bit goes a long way. I feel like it's definitely buildable and it covers up my redness. So right now my skin is very red. I'm currently on Accutane. If you guys want a video of the process of me getting into Accutane, like what it took for me to get there, let me know down below, because it was definitely a journey that took several years. I wanted to get on Accutane a little bit sooner, but it's so much to get there. If you guys want a video of how I got there, I'm going through an online program, so it's a little bit easier rather than going through your dermatologist. Your dermatologist would make you go jump through hoops and try so many different, not only pills and products, and I've already done all that. Nothing was helping, so Accutane was kind of like the last resort for me. But I'm currently month 2 going into month 3, and I really like the results. I don't really care for the side effects, but like I said, we'll go into that in another video. If you guys are interested in that, let me know down below. But let's do a little life update, because I feel like the last time that I was on YouTube, I was still working at Mac, which is absolutely insane. I have not worked at Mac in like 3 years, going on 4 years now. I was working the counter. I really liked that. That was like my first retail job. That was the job that taught me everything I needed to know about sales. And I feel like every stepping stone that I've had in my life was for a reason, because it kind of just built me up to where I'm at now. So currently I work at a med spa. The last job that I was at before this, and I've been at this med spa now for I am a licensed esthetician, and my main focus for going to school was skin. I loved skin, and I loved understanding the skin and ingredients to help the skin and the different layers of the skin and why the skin works the way that it does. I loved the science behind it. So that's kind of what led me into being an esthetician. I didn't go straight into facials right away, however, just because I was a little bit intimidated. In school, they don't really teach you. I mean, they teach you, don't get me wrong. And I also didn't go to the best school ever. I don't even know if they're still an accredited school. But at the time, I was living out near Yucca Valley, and that's where I went to school. And I went to school during COVID. So definitely completely different from like times now, because we're now post-COVID and things are so different. I went to school because I loved skin, and then I went into makeup because I've always loved makeup and it just made sense for me. I always wanted to work at the MAC counter, and we just made it happen. And then when I was working there, I fell in love with not so much sales. The sales portion of the job kind of drained out the fun of the makeup. So it was give and take, I would say. And then there was an opening for an esthetician position, and I applied. I did 2 interviews. I did a facial on the lead esthetician at the time, and I was hired right on the spot, which was like a really big win for me because I had never worked at a spa that way. I worked a little bit for myself right after school, but it wasn't like anything super crazy. I did have a thought of going solo straight after school, but it's a lot harder than it seems. I feel like all of that is really glamorized, but there's so much that goes into it. So I worked at this spa. I would say it's like a luxury, not luxury. I would say it's like a massage facial place. I worked there, I want to say a year. Absolutely love the fact that they had continued education and I learned so much about modalities. I worked very closely with Dermalogica and Image, which I don't work with now at all, but I became, they had, Dermalogica has like a pro program and I took advantage of that and I did that when I was there. I was going through the Image one, but then I ended up leaving and, you know, there were so many things that I did not like about it, mainly more had to do not so much with my job, but where I was. And I was looking for a way out. I will constantly look around to see what is available as far as like, what is my next step? Am I happy here? How much more can I elevate my experience? Because I know that I have all this experience, all this knowledge to give. I saw a job posting for a med spa, and mind you, I had never worked at a med spa, but I saw the job posting. It was up for about 3 weeks, I want to say, before I saw it. So I kind of was iffy about applying, but I was like, you know what, Daniela, like everything else in your life, it'll happen if it'll happen. Don't get me wrong, I was like super anxious and I was like looking around constantly because I was like, if this doesn't happen, I'm stuck at where I'm at. I'm not happy with where I'm at. So let's get the ball rolling because I will take anything at this point. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, this is the Rare Beauty bronzer and then this is the Rare Beauty blush, liquid blush in Resilience. And then I'm just using a double-ended versed brush and we're gonna blend that out. But anyway, back to my story. I didn't hear from them. This was during like Christmas time. So I didn't hear from them in a very long, I want to say it was like 2 weeks, but only because I kept telling myself it's Christmas time, they're busy, they're not really focused on hiring. And also at this time, I had kind of put it in my head like they probably already hired someone. That job posting was up for so long. So it wasn't until January that I actually got a call back. So January of 2025, I get a call back from the med spa and they're like, we want to interview you. Did a phone interview, didn't hear anything for like about a week, called me back, or I kept honestly reaching out to them as well and I was like, I'm still interested, haven't heard anything back. And then that's when I had a video interview. I was so nervous, you guys, that I was talking so much. But then come later to find out, when I worked closely with the lady that interviewed me, she literally told me that she hired me because I would not stop talking. It paid off, I guess, how nervous I was, but I got the job and I started literally 2 weeks after. So I couldn't even give my job like a 2 weeks notice, but I really didn't care because I just wanted to get out. I was looking for a way out and that was my way out. So then I started January 15th of 2025 as the only esthetician in office, which is absolutely insane. I have a lot of imposter syndrome and I feel like for the longest time, I didn't give myself the credit. I had done the work. I had worked various retail jobs. My numbers were good. I felt like I had extensive knowledge on the skin to have this opportunity, but I felt small, if that makes sense, especially being an esthetician, the only esthetician in office at the time. We later did hire another esthetician and that kind of like lifted the weight off of me. And then I got a promotion a month into working as lead esthetician, which is absolutely a blessing and was kind of like a, like, wow, like, I don't know, like a wow moment for me because I love being an esthetician. I love every aspect about my job. I feel so not only empowered to help people with their skin problems, but to actually help them and educate them in understanding why skin is the way that it is and what we can do ourselves at home and what I can do as a provider to help you achieve your goals. So I absolutely love my job. I've been there for about, like I said, a year now, a little bit more over a year because I started in January, but I have seen a completely different side. This is the Hourglass concealer in the shade Oat, but I have seen a completely different side to aesthetics, medical aesthetics, and I love it so much. Watch the injectors, and I love my coworkers, I love my team. I feel like we have such a strong set of people that are working there, and it just makes life a lot more better going to work. Of course, you have like those bumps in the road, like anyone, especially 8 women working in studio very closely. It can get a little bit hectic at times, but I'm very glad that we're, you know, those type of people that if something's going on, we talk about it and we fix the solution. We don't let it escalate to anything more than it needs to. But I love my team so much. I feel like we're so strong together. We do amazing when we work together. So no complaints there. Everyone is really amazing. I cannot love my job more than I do. And I'm very, very well aware that I'm blessed. And also the work that I put in, you know, I can't really knock myself down on that because work is done. And it's just a blessing is all I could say. Like I said, so much has changed since the last time that I've been on YouTube, but definitely a little debrief is always nice just because I feel like I'm not the type of person to really open up so much, but I'm very glad that I have this platform and I have these opportunities to build a community, to be able to talk and speak on these topics, especially about my life, because even like in my personal life, it takes me a very long time to open up, but I feel like I have been doing social media for so long, on and off though, I will say, just because life, I became a mom, I went to school, I moved away, I focused on just my kids for a while, but my page has always been there necessarily, so I've been here and I've been gone, but I've always been here. That's just a little mini life update because it's been a while since I have said anything about myself, really. Now we're going in with MAC Global Glow, which is crazy because the way that I do my makeup has changed also. I used to come on here full beat and I used to do full beat to work, but that's because I was at MAC and I had to. And then when I worked at the massage facial place, I still kind of tried to do that a little bit, but I've always struggled with acne and we worked a lot with steamers. Currently, I have the choice. I'm a solo esthetician, but inside the med spa, because I get to say like what I want to use, how I have my room set up. I don't really have anyone overlooking me in that department. I basically run myself, which I love. The last time that I was on here, I was like 24, 23, I want to say. Very crazy times. I'm 27 now. I work full time. I have 2 kids. I'm so busy all the time. I'm consistent in my health and fitness journey. So if that's something that you're interested in and you've been riding with me for this long, thank you so much for being here, first of all. Like I said, I love having an outlet where I can kind of share. Like, it takes me a very long time to open up, but I feel like I've been on here for years that it's like you guys know me. So I don't mind doing it anymore. I'm going to be trying to do a lot more vlogs. Don't hold me to it, but I'm going to be vlogging, like I said, in my little Pilates event today. I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Let me just do my lip combo and then we are going to do our hair and then we're going to be out the door. So I just got here and I'm getting a little bit nervous. I always do this every single time I'm going to some sort of event. I get nervous because I feel like I start to feel small. So I'm going to try my best to record. I'm going to push myself out of my comfort zone. I probably won't take my hat. My hat's such a cute moment, but I did not see anyone wearing a hat. So I feel like I'm doing too much. My boots may be like already doing too much, but this is my life. So I got to make sure that I'm taking up a space and I'm not making myself small, especially putting myself out here. I'm in a predominantly white area and I'm Hispanic, so I gotta make sure I take up space. Let's go.
Everyone keep going, keep crunching, twist that waist, refill that reach. Go up to your left knee, so you won't reach up. Keep pull your belly button down to floor. We're gonna flow through this. Here we go. Take a big curl up into that crunch. Inhale, open out. We're gonna take a big inhale, open out. I want you to crunch a little bit deeper on these. Maintain. Squeeze. Final one. Lift, squeeze, hold. Feel
finished the class. Honestly, you guys, it was good. It was a good burner, but I was sitting next to a lady who I had previously interviewed for. I didn't get the job, but it's okay because I always tell myself that things happen for a reason. So if space did not open up for me in this specific medical spa, then it was not for me. But she literally sat down right next to me with her team, and she introduced herself, and I kind of just had to be like, hi, nice to meet you. So it was kind of a little awkward for me personally, but the class was really cute. We got these hats. I'm gonna go back in there, look at the vendors, and then see if I can get a snack because I'm hungry. I'm now on my way home. I got this cute little hand chain. I was trying to vlog it when I was there, but I was talking to the lady and the girl doing it. Too much was happening. But I added to my stack. Very cutesy. I'm very much a silver girl. This is my Aura ring. I have a cover on it because it gets really scratched up. But I think that's enough vlogging for the day. There's a lot of things that I have to get done as far as like cleaning. I want to spend some time with my son, and yeah, I just want to be in the moment, be present. I don't want to worry about being in front of a camera. I have so much to edit. So if you've watched this vlog, if you came and you hung out with me, I appreciate you. I love you because it's been a really long time since I've been on here, and let's try to make it a little bit more consistent, okay? So we'll meet here same time next week, hopefully.